a couple of things that tie in together. Yeah, good question.
I have a question about Ephesus.
Uh-huh.
And is that where Paul wrote the letter to the church or something like that?
To the Ephesians.
Yes.
He doesn't write the letter when he's actually there, but he does write the letter to the Ephesians. Ephesus is a very, very interesting time. This is where we have the riot of the silversmiths. And somebody tell me about that story very quickly. Lay it on me. Lay it on me.
He goes through the country to get somewhere. I don't know. But,
Yeah, this is the third missionary journey. Here, I'll make this full screen. Go ahead, go.
Oh, okay. Well, he goes through the country and gets to somewhere where he meets this thing named Demetrius.
Yeah, Demetrius. He's like an artisan, and what is it that he creates? He's a silversmith.
He creates silver little.
More specifically, shrines. He creates shrines.
Yeah.
And who is he creating shrines of? Anybody know? Artemis. He's creating these shrines of Artemis. But what's the problem? There's this big riot. What causes the riot? Why does this riot occur? Sort of. I mean, tangentially, but because of who? Who causes this riot? Why are they rioting?
Paul persuaded and misled a great number of people.
Supposedly that's what's happened, yeah. Let's flip back very quickly to Acts chapter 17. This is back to the second missionary journey. We're kind of jumping around a little bit, but that's okay. In the second missionary journey, let's find it. Remember Paul went and he spent some time in Athens. In Athens, he has this debate with the Epicureans. He has this debate with the Stoics. And then what you should have read either last night or the night before was Paul's speech at the Areopagus. What happened there? Who remembers that story? And this ties in directly to what happens with the silversmiths. Yeah.
They're like, alright, yeah, we'll have this God, whatever, just put it over there. They really didn't like thinking it was like one God.
Yeah, exactly. They've got all these different gods, and then there's this one shrine to a specific god. James, do you remember? Huh? Do you remember? Which specific shrine? The unknown God. And so Paul sort of, because he becomes all things to all people, he sort of uses that to explain Christianity to them. He says, this unknown God, that's the God I'm here to tell you about. And then he goes into this long, lengthy speech, and he makes this statement right here, verse 24, follow along. The God who made the world and all that is in it, the Lord of heaven and earth, does not dwell in sanctuaries made by human hands. Now let's think about that in terms of what happened with the silversmiths. Do you see a connection here? Yeah.
This is when Paul is in Athens, right?
This is when he's in Athens. So we've gone from the third missionary journey back to the second. He's in Athens right now giving this speech. And he says, God does not dwell in places made by human hands. How does that, what is the connection between that and the riot of the silversmiths in Ephesus in the third missionary journey? Can you guys see it? I want to see if you guys can get there on your own. Where? There's the correlation.
Because he made those out of
The Demetrius guy that you were talking about, James, the Demetrius guy is creating shrines with his hands. Shrines which people worship God, which people used to worship God. Well, if Paul makes this statement, God doesn't dwell in places created by human hands. Well, what do you think is going to happen to those people who are believers? Are they going to keep buying these shrines?
No.
So business goes down. People who are in business like it when they lose business? No, absolutely not. This is what is beginning to happen now that Paul is on his third missionary journey and people have heard all across the empire now about Christianity. Think about another instance where somebody loses business because something Paul has done. Think back, second missionary journey. Does anybody remember? Had to do with purple cloth. What happened? It was, actually it's after the Lydia story, my bad, but there's, what?
Wasn't it the people who had the fortune telling person?
Yeah, exactly. After the Lydia story,